Hey there YouTube, I'm Yukitsu, this is Yukitsu Times. Welcome to my channel, welcome to some Civilization Beyond Earth. So, there's a couple reasons why I want to play this. First of all, I want to tell you that my video card from my main desktop PC has sort of kicked the bucket or something. I sent it in for repairs, I can't figure out any sort of software fixes, so I figured it must be something wrong with the hardware. And so I'm hoping they can salvage it so I don't have to buy a new one, but if I do end up having to buy a new one, I guess it's not really that big a deal. I just have sort of hope that they'll be able to fix it, even though it probably would have been faster to just replace it. But anyway, Civilization Beyond Earth is one of those games that does run on my laptop, and my laptop is a really, really cheap one. So hopefully it'll be a pretty good series here. So yeah, I've got a bunch of recordings as well on my desktop. Hopefully they won't get too destroyed because that is the end of my Total War Western Roman Empire playthrough as well. That's on there. So hopefully that'll be still there when I get it back. But in any event, let's go ahead and do this. The other reason I wanted to play this, of course, is because Civilization 6 is coming out, and I did want to clear out a video for Rising Tide before that came out. Now, Rising Tide did have some pretty substantial changes, and I think that people sort of like judge this game a little bit more harshly than it deserved, because it was actually a pretty fun game. Even on release, I enjoyed it quite a bit. Rising Tide made it a lot better as well. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and take our yield from seed developments, increase by 50%, by 150% from Falah. They're a faction that I think is actually really interesting and really quite strong. Most of the abilities for these factions is comparatively minor, and you sort of get the majority of your differentiation by selecting, the combination of that plus all of this stuff here. I still feel like Artists is probably the strongest of these choices, but I'm going to pick Refugees here because having that extra food means that your population grows faster, you can get more food, science, production, pretty much everything here except for culture. You can get, more of everything except culture basically by having more population. For a spacecraft, we're going to go with the fusion reactor. I think that having that extra money makes it so you can buy your first colonist pretty quickly. And for this, I like getting something either like machinery or weapons arsenal. Starting machinery, I think, makes a lot of sense in a lot of cases because it gives you that free worker, and that worker can start improving those tiles. Improved tiles means that you can get more done more quickly. You can get more stuff built more quickly. You can get more science, more population. The other one, the weapon arsenal, that extra soldier, it gives you really good scouting information early on in the game. I think we're going to go with the machinery in this case, though. And we're just going to set it to Lush World. The reason is that I want to avoid Fungal. The Apollo AI really abuses Fungal worlds. They can set up beside all the giant mushrooms really, really effectively and then just balloon hugely, because basically what those giant mushrooms do is they change it so that your population growth, or your tiles have like +8 or something like that food, and it becomes a little bit ridiculous. A little bit quickly, and we want to avoid the frigid world just because it really messes with my vision. Those worlds, it's like snow blindness constantly, so I just don't want to have to look at that. I do think it looks really nice, especially if you've got it set to higher fidelity, but since I've got it set to low graphics because this is a bad laptop as well, and also I set it to when I'm playing it, sort of not recording it, so so yeah, Alpha, basically what they do is whenever you've got them set to producing money or science, more of a conversion rate, and this actually scales up pretty well because they can get up to 200% more of resource. So like every hammer they have in a city, like if they got say 50 hammers, they can get 100 energy out of it when it's fully upgraded, which is a really strong bonus. I think that Integrer's bonus is actually a little bit stronger ultimately, but I think that this one's not that bad. Okay, we got actually a really nice start location here. We can see that there's some mountains that'll protect us from the one side there. And in fact, we've got mountains over here. So we've got like this open plain on this side to protect ourselves, to defend ourselves along. So let's drop this here. Nice hill start, hill river. Gives us a little bit of extra energy, as well as some floodplains tiles here. So those are really great near the start of the game. We are still going to want to make sure that we're working the chitin here. Looks like we are. Good, good, good. And we are going to get this guy to go over there and improve that chitin right off the bat there. That's going to be a fantastic start. Going to go and start off with another explorer as well, and we're going to learn pioneering first of all. So our population growth is going to be pretty fast because we got those refugees there, and we're going to be able to work this production tile pretty early on without any sort of penalty to that growth there. So Alright, we got a silver point navigational gyroscope. It's broken, so we won't actually be using that anytime soon. We'll save that up and show you how those work later. Alien nests. It's going to be a lot of aliens to my right, which is good and bad. It sort of means that I'm actually defended on the one side by aliens to a certain extent. Seeing a lot of small patches of xenomass, which is not necessarily brilliant or anything, but... Alright, 12 research. Oops, that has miasma on. Ow, well. Alright, so we've got that finished. We've got our mission to get a colonist, which is always your sort of starting mission there. Let's just head into the miasma again. I'm not too worried about being in miasma. Alright, it's got our second explorer. Let's send him over there, and let's send our worker over here to work this plantation, because that's a +1 food tile when worked, so it becomes a pretty strong one, even though I don't get the energy from that region. We'll go with the old Earth Relic before Clinic. I don't have like the plus culture, so we need to get that going manually, basically. Alright, another resource pod, that's great. Alright. I feel like we want to go Purity since I haven't gone Purity in a while. I do play this enough that I've sort of played all of them. I go Supremacy a lot, and I've gone Harmony pretty recently, but so let's go with Ignore this, and then we'll continue along to our Purity sort of start there. We might not actually need a great place to do Purity, though. I'm not seeing a ton of Floatstone or anything like that, but we'll see. Alright, we're going to pick up this Alien Skeleton. Alien Skeletons are pretty okay early, and we're also going to go Frugality. We're going to fast tech over to Mind Over Matter because we're probably going to get a lot of expansions, and then we're going to switch over. Engineer Food Crop. Yeah, just have to build a Vivarium, which is something that we typically get to pretty quickly anyway. Free Solar Collector, that's really good. And then, of course, we get our Science bonus there. And, yeah, just tons and tons of alerts open up all at once there. Alright, so we've got 2 that are broken. Those are not really going to be useful until we get a 3rd. I could get Chemistry, but I kind of want to get Titanium just so I can know what is going around here. So we'll get that, and we'll put our Solar Collector to sleep until we get a little bit more population. Typically, I don't like working them until I can get sort of like it covering 6 productive tiles, and we could probably do that pretty easily here since like all the tiles around the city are pretty good ones. The only problem is that then we're not working the copper, but it doesn't really matter too much. Alright, so that finished. Let's go ahead and get our quarry up here. Yeah, these are good tiles actually right now. So we'll keep working those tiles for a little time. I don't think anyone's landed yet. I think we're just on our own little world here so far. Nice. Okay, still on our own little world. It's fantastic. Gives us a good chance to sort of try and get ahead a little bit. Are we done this one? Yeah, we're done this one now. Alright, Raptor Bug. It's not my favorite, but they're not terrible. They're not like the Manticore, because these guys at least have 3 movement. Or not the... Whichever the range one is. The range one is terrible. Alright, so we got 4 population here going on. Yeah, we're still going heavy growth here. Once this finishes, though, I'll want to switch over to production on that tile there. Now we have got 3 of these different things here, so I could pop this and immediately get a bonus to food and science, but those are my least favorite bonuses from these artifacts. What I could do is do all 3 of these to get Tesseract targeting. That's not really a bonus I like either, so we'll save all these. But yeah, you can, if you get 3 of any of those sort of things found, you can sort of immediately dump them for access to a building. You still have to build it, but it gives you access to those buildings that you can't otherwise build at all. And it's a great way to sort of gain sort of interesting or exotic bonuses. Like there's one that's actually a wonder. It gives you plus 100% vision range for all of your units, which is a super powerful bonus. Of course, it's still interrupted by terrain, but especially in naval situations, that's like a super powerful bonus. All right, bonus for output post growth. We won't actually get a colonist that way. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a clinic here. We're not finding like the most of these bonuses through resource pods. Like normally you can get a lot of money from resource pods, but we're getting other things here. Okay, so I don't want to like accidentally step on an alien, so we want to move one at a time there. Alright. We're still by ourselves, still by ourselves. That's really crazy. Alright, resource pod, there we go. And a really good spot for a city, it looks like to me. Alright, 6 floatstone over there, so we might have to just found a city near here as well. Normally I'd like to make my first expansion in the water, but I don't think that's going to happen this time. We're pretty landlocked, so... Doesn't mean that we're going to miss out on a ton of exploration opportunities, though. Which is never good, but... Alright, 15 research. That gets us engineering fast. Okay. Some titanium around here, none near our main city. Is there any near there? No, damn. That would have been really, really good. So there's like good city spots for, not for strategic resources, but for just good production tiles and stuff like that around here, but we do also need those strategic resources. Alright. 60 energy, there we go. We just need 30 more, I think. Alright, let's get chemistry next, see if there's any oil on the map. We want to sort of gain vision of those sort of things before we expand too much. Like, I would like to still get an expansion out even before then, because we're going to do more than one expansion, obviously, but... I don't really want to do a colonist just actually being built, but it could be a good idea for me to do that pretty soon, but we'll get the thorium reactor first. Because we're almost there in terms of being able to just buy it. And who knows, maybe we'll be able to get a city buy off of this exploration here. Did I have anything that converted into energy here? I don't think I did. No. It's mostly the progenitor stuff that turns into money. I'm not really sure why, but that makes them actually really, really bad for just converting into resources, but it makes them super strong for other types of conversion. We're at 5 pop. I could actually drop my satellite now, and that would be pretty strong. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. So this brings our money per turn up to plus 14, so we'll be able to do that pretty quickly. Alright, get up to there, get back in the city, and then recharge those exploration pods. Alright, if we get money here, we can immediately do a buy. Yep, we got it. Okay, good. So we're going to go ahead and purchase a colonist. So yeah, I've got two options. Either I can walk it a long way to get to the ocean here, and put it like here, which might be a really good spot for it. The reason that that's a good spot for it is it gives us access to like water exploration, which means I'm going to be finding like early resource pods, which I actually really like doing. Yeah, we're going to go do that. It's like such a dumb idea in some respects, but it's also like really, really good for us in some ways. So it's kind of like a mix of like cost benefits. Alright, let's try and get up in here. This is a lot of darkness in that area. A lot of darkness up there as well. I'll have this guy sort of explore up here, I think. Well, he can't go in the water, so he can't get that one, but... Get over to this stuff. Yeah, looks like we got a lot of time to ourselves here. This is pretty good. Alright, nice. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I'll have this guy explore down this way, actually. Meet up with my other one, potentially. I could set up in here or something like that, but if I set up over here, I'm guaranteed to have good tiles, so... Because you can still work land tiles from an aquatic city. It's just, one of the advantages of aquatic cities is you can also gain access to those water tiles, so... It's kind of 50-50, but if I get it close to the coast, I can get the best of both worlds if I'm near good coastal resources. Alright, so this is quite a lot of Firaxis around here, too. Alright, we could go Helping Hands next, instead of getting another settler. I'm going to work towards getting a settler through purchases. So I can afford a new personality trait at this point in time. I'm probably just going to get the domestic cooperative one, which is really strong early on for that extra trade route eel. I'll do this now just so I don't forget to get it later, but it doesn't really work until I get domestic internal trade routes. There's ones for trading with other civs, and there's also ones for trading with... Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't want to build one there, because that guy just popped there. You can't build right next to a station. But yeah, you can't... you can get a different bonus for, like, getting more trade from other players, and you can also get a bigger trade bonus with stations, so depending on what type of trade route you like, you can get one that fits your preference. For me, the internal trade routes are just the strongest ones because they give you the resources that you typically like getting. That being construction and food, which are both really, really good. Alright, I could get another worker and start sending it towards our new city, or I could even start working on another colonist at this point in time. But I could also start using Falah's sort of bonus here and start just churning out social development, and that changes it from 3 to 8, which is really good for one turn, and then we can switch over to science or something like that. Or we could, actually, since we've unlocked more buildings, why don't I go get those buildings? That would make sense, wouldn't it? Alright, social policy, we're going to go ahead and get Pioneer Spirit. We want to go ahead and work towards Mind Over Matter as fast as possible. Well, not as fast as possible. I am going to start building a lab over in our capital instead of what we're working on there. I think we're going to convert the lab over so that we're getting exploration pods. You can either get +1 science or you can get exploration pods. The +1 science is the better long-term bonus, but sometimes you want the short-term bonus so you can snowball ahead of your opponents and stuff like that. Alright, I think that's our third, no, that's our fourth, but we can start throwing these in here and just check out what we get. Frontier Stadiums, those are pretty okay. Ground Penetrating LiDAR. We haven't done very many explorations, actually, so this is a pretty strong bonus early on, but that's Frontier Stadium. That's Tesseract Targeting, right? Okay. Yeah, none of those are super good. I don't feel like there's enough dig sites that I've been finding that the Ground Penetrating LiDAR would be super, super powerful for us. So, I definitely don't really feel like that's our best interest. Alright, you head down this way. More alien remains. Are we still by ourselves? By ourselves? I think we might be. Wonder where the hell the AI landing is. Like the one problem is like the longer it takes before they start landing, the more powerful they are when they land. So, alright, there's a ton of resources up around by here, so it could be a good idea to just get a city here for the petroleum and the titanium. Alright, we'll open old Earth relics to the public so that we get that extra culture. Getting extra culture, always a strong idea. We can just pop over here and then pop into the water and then go, so. It is a little bit risky sending them unguarded since sometimes aliens actually do attack your colony landers. But they're, like, the AI aliens don't seem to attack very often in this, in Rising Tides. Like, they won't attack you unless you attack the aliens first. It doesn't matter if you attack that with that unit. Like, any attack by you as a faction at all causes the aliens to sort of flip out and they'll be aggressive to you the rest of the game. Or not the rest of the game, but it feels like the rest of the game. And you can sort of switch that off by not attacking them for a while. But it really is quite risky to attack the aliens because they will be angry at you. Alright, we need to send this guy off east, I think. That's probably where all the action is going to be in terms of being able to explore further. Alright, now we can pop this, though. Get that patrol boat. We can send this patrol boat up towards Sakima Station to get this, oh dear, this resource pod. And head down this way. So we can afford our second colony lander right now. Why don't we might want to do that, actually. Oh, that's going to be tricky to get. Alright. We've discovered that, or someone's discovered that. Actually, someone has landed. No, that's Red Sun. Interesting. I don't know how the hell we saw that. Okay, someone did see it. Okay. Wonder how long they've actually been here. I wasn't paying attention to when they landed. Still, this has been a long time for people landing. It's taken a while. Okay, so +1 production, or you can get +2 energy. Now, the thing is, I think that +1 production is always better than +2 energy. There's one that comes later that's like +3 energy, which I think is stronger than the +1, but we could do that. Actually, I'm not going to get that. I need to get a trade route. Get the trade convoy, and we'll go ahead and purchase a colonist, so that should be fine. And let's see if we can make it to, yeah, we can. Good. And an artifact is acquired. Collapsing family library. Let's see what we can build out of this stuff. Okay, Xenomass Bathhouse. I'm not a huge fan of those. Frontier Stadium still. Xenomass Bathhouse. Panspectral Observatory is pretty okay in some respects, but I don't... Alright, none of these are really tickling my fancy too much here, so we'll save these for a little bit later. It's sometimes a good idea to save them, sometimes it ends up not paying off though, and it would have been better if you just got whatever, but the thing is, like, I wouldn't be building Xenomass Bathhouses right now anyway. I'd be building... There's other things I need to build first, so... It's pretty okay to delay that. Okay, I can sort of slip through here and explore north this way. Typically, there's lots of resource pods in like the north and south ends of the maps, just because the AI tends not to look there, but also it feels like there's sort of a bias to putting them there. I'm not really 100% sure if that's true, though. But typically it pays off if you just check out near the ice flows. Could partly be that the ones that are like supposed to randomly generate in the ice flows get pushed back out of the ice, in which case that probably is why. Less explorations there, though. Maybe it's just the resource pods. Alright, let's send him this way. I'm going to try and make it towards that resource pod that's over there. It's going to be tricky, though. Send you over here, I think. Alright, nice. Let's get that. Alright, and this gives us access to settler plans, which is pretty nice, but I definitely want that mind over matter as fast as possible, because we're building pretty quick cities here. Alright. Head over this way. This is why, like, that first aquatic city is so good, because these guys are so much faster than your other explorers when on the water. Like, the drone would have been better on land, but because it can go over land and sea, it's like one of the best scouts in the game, but it is rare to get a drone in this game, I find. Alright, let's search upwards towards this, let's just reveal all of that. Okay, so Recycler might be our best bet here. You could also start working on a few combat units, or I could get another Explorer. All of those are pretty good options right now. I could even get another Colonist just for the hell of it, but I think we'd be at too much lack of health for too long if we did that. It might be strong for me to get the Recycler, I think. That would probably be best. Alright. Start working on genetics so I can keep my happiness up. And we're going to get that extra Explorer module from our stuff here, because we're still in that phase, and like it won't necessarily pay off, like it's a bit risky. But I feel like it's a strong choice. Is this a hill? Yeah, that's a hill. Okay, so we'll probably want to found on that. Let's move this guy up towards this alien thing there. See if we can't get that to work in our favor. Alright, improve outpost growth. Nothing there. Alright. And I think we're probably going to call it an episode pretty soon here. It's usually good ways into a game by the time I manage to get my first colony up and running. Maybe we'll wait till we've got our colony actually up and running. But, alright. Let's check what this gives us. 40 science. That's, again, pretty not ideal. Ground penetrating lidar. They really want me to have a ground penetrating lidar for some reason. Soul Discerner training. Now this one's actually pretty interesting. Plus 25% covert operations speed is really, really strong in this game just because covert ops is kind of broken. Gives you too many resources. We are on a small map though with a small number of people I can spy on, so we'll probably not want that. Slumber Slaughter Extract. Let's get that because we're going to be building a lot of cities. It won't be too useful right now since we don't have that many tiles. And we do want the health because we don't have much health. It's going to be pretty negative pretty soon. Oh, that's in the water. What the hell? Alright, well, whatever. Let's just move our scouts out eastwards until we can get to something good there. I think I'll just explore downward and try and fill up the map as much as possible. Alright, Alright, so this worker should be able to finish that tile like really, really quickly. Yeah, that was pretty fast. I could work this crash satellite, just get that done. Even though, like, I don't need the production in my capital all that much. Alright, so yeah, there's nothing to produce right now, so we're going to go with social development. I want to get up as fast as possible on that. Since there's nothing better for me to do, I can take advantage of my cultural trait there. And potentially get a lot more resources than I would normally be able to. We're going to work this tile so that I've got everything sort of in radius of that capital there. And that way I'm getting the maximized benefit from that thing there. From the solar collector. Alright, genetics, that'll help a little bit. It's not super necessary because I probably will get my culture up pretty quickly. Like, it's okay to be at negative health in this game for quite a while. It kicks in and it doesn't really hit too hard right off the bat there. We're going to go for ecology just so that we can get into geophysics and potentially see where the that stuff is. Sometimes you can get some pretty important wonders out of it. Alright, got another battered item here. We did throw our pristine stuff, but I didn't really care about the bonuses that we'd get out of the pristine stuff in this case. Panspectral, drone command. Drone commands are actually also really good. It's basically like 2 free population without having to get the population. You do have to build the drone commands, and they're pretty expensive build-wise, but I still do like this one. I think I'll get it. Get it unlocked since I'll probably forget the combination for it later. Like, the combinations in this game are not necessarily the most clear things in the world, honestly. We're also having a... We're kind of having like a rough time finding affinity. Normally I'd have found some progenitor stuff by this point in the game. I have found like no progenitor stuff. Progenitor stuff is super important because it does give you affinity levels. But we are finding quite a lot of other good stuff. So I mean, I can't really complain. It's just like it's dangerous to not have affinity, because that's how you upgrade your units to the next tier. And if we're not upgrading our units, we're in that sort of trouble of not being able to fight back if someone decides to start a fight with us. Let's get the Cider Nursery over here. I think that we can take this a bit slow and be okay with a couple turns of unhappiness. Oh yeah, people are starting to land finally. It's taking them a long time. Alright, 15 research. It's not great, but... Interactive family tree. I think that's culture, but it's kind of busted. Or maybe it's science? I can't really remember. Alright, so we can do this to rush that culture thing, and then get... we can do it with this as well, potentially. Let's see what we got here. Frontier Stadium. Alright, so yeah, let's just try tossing this in and getting that culture, and then being able to get mind over matter right now so that I don't go into the negatives when my 2 cities pop. I mean, we got genetics and we're working that, but still. It does take a long time to get some of this stuff here. Alright. There's Chungsu, that's who we're near here. Yeah, they're usually relatively peaceful. Oh, there's a progenitor thing there. They're usually pretty peaceful because they're sort of like more about covert ops and spying and stuff like that, but if I piss them off too badly, they are definitely a faction that I can see myself easily pissing off. So I don't necessarily want to expand too much southward, but also they're fairly easy to kill. They're not very militant is the thing. So it could definitely be in my favor to just attack them. Alright, wreckage boost. They're fighting the aliens, whatever. I could also just do like a complete dick move, run out and just destroy their settler. I'd have to move here and then attack it though. I don't know actually if I kill it in one turn though. I don't know if it would be worth attacking these guys though for that purpose. Like antagonizing them for no reason this early in the game is actually pretty bad diplomatically, so... I'm gonna move over here first. Okay, yeah, good. Because I figured something like that might happen. Alright, we still got an exploration module in this guy, so we're gonna continue along there. We'll send this guy to Falah. We'll have Falah build a trade depot. So first off, we'll build... We could build a drone command, like, right away here. That could potentially be good. We need to build a vivarium, though, I think, don't we? Yeah, build a vivarium in Ard. And then we're going to want to build a trade depot over in Falah. Alright, I could get geophysics now, or I could get computing. Computing would get us that sort of a spy academy up like right away, but geophysics would get us the ability to see geothermal on the map, so I know where to put my expansions. Because I still need to put down like 2 more expansions at least, probably. Or at least sort of that's how I feel about it. Let's send this guy up here, and then we'll start sending towards our other cities so you can start working those tiles. Ooh, alien skeleton and a progenitor up there. You know what, we'll get the vivarium here, but we'll also go ahead and purchase ourselves an explorer. Just one more explorer should do. Like, our income is plus 21 a turn because our tiles are so good for energy at the start here that I'm getting tons and tons of that. Alright, our affinity has gone finally to level 1, which is kind of bad, but... Alright, I'm going to go get this one in the corner here before I get blocked off somehow by it. Alright. Plus 5 heal for our blockers. It's always usually, in my opinion, a good thing. And then plus 20% against naval melee units. Because the aliens are naval melee units, and if I get a quest that involves me fighting them, I would like to have the advantage there in terms of being able to fight them a little bit better. I'm probably just going to take a miasma hit as I move across here. That's okay. Alright, Pharmalab maybe? I think Pharmalab's okay. And then send this guy up towards the progenitor ruins. Progenitor ruins, progenitor devices are both fantastic things for that affinity gain, especially once you've already gained a little bit of affinity. Alright. The cost for those diplomatic policies actually goes up pretty quickly in this game, so you have to be sort of careful about how you're going to plan it out, like figure out what's important when. Because if I need my military ones like soon, then I'm in trouble because it takes a long time to sort of switch over and start getting those leveled up. Alright, we need to biopsy 6 alien remains. Honestly, it's not too important a quest. Like, a lot of the times I win the game without ever having finished it. So I'm not too worried about it regardless. Alright, send that up there. We want our thorium reactors to get us 3 energy. Like, 3 energy is just too much better than 1 production. Even though production is usually the better resource. I just think that 3 of it, like, you know, that's huge. Look how much energy we're getting from the city. Like, this is gross. This is grotesque, how much we're getting from this one city here. Loving that element to this. Alright, derelict settlement, that's actually pretty good. Population, usually, sometimes something else like pre-tech, but I definitely like getting derelict settlements at this point in the game. Although, of course, I'd much rather have more progenitor stuff. Which one is this guy? This guy's the one south. Okay, well. Oh, man, I'm going to have to go through that miasma. Take it slow there. Alright, so that scout's being a little bit annoying being on there, but he'll move by next turn, pretty sure. Nope. So this is why you don't move 2 tiles at a time. I would have attacked that guy by accident, which would have been disastrous. Okay, is now a good time to get drone command? Arguably now is a good time to get drone command, actually. Let's go ahead and do that. Could also probably rush build it a little bit. No, that's science and culture. What's this thing? It's just science. Okay, neither of those are very good for this. I'm hoping that we find a progenitor artifact in the ruins there, because they tend to give you wonders, which are really, really powerful. Alright, yeah, so those guys moved out of there, which is good. Let's just get a little bit of scout information there. Nah, nothing too interesting. Alright. When you collect all those, what it gives you is access to leashing other aliens without having to take the tech, which is nice if you're not going for Harmony. If you're going Harmony, it's completely useless, but it basically gives you access to that without having to get the technologies. Alright, let's grab up this here. Progenitor's up there. Yeah, just move that 1 tile at a time, just be safe. I should probably buy another worker or build another worker or something like that pretty soon as well. Like, 1 worker between 3 cities is ridiculously short on workers, but We're kind of actually okay on all our resources, in all honesty. I'm not, like, hugely worried about that fact right now. Let's just move this guy up here. I'm not too worried about a little bit of miasma damage. Alright, alien nests up there. +1 health from Farm Labs is going to be pretty good. We're still at a pretty low amount of health here. And once Aswat's Adida pops, we're going to be pretty low, even though we've got that +7. Oh, another resource pod that we can get there. Perfect. Nope. Okay. Let's get this chitin online. Alright, nice. That's a great little spot there. Okay, we'll just hop over here, I think, and then start filling in those black tiles there. Get as much information as we can right now. Another orbital launch. And 42 science. That's pretty good. The higher like the cost of your current sciences is, the more you get out of those. So at this point in the game, I can get some pretty big resource pods if I find them. Theoretically, like if you found one really late in the game, it could be worth like hundreds, maybe even more, but by then, you know, you're probably not going to find any, so that's sort of the balancing between that. It is always funny, though, when someone finds, like, a culture dig late in the game, when it's sort of like a percentage, I think, of your culture. Yeah, it's telling me to build a spy agency. But yeah, that could potentially be really, really hilarious. Alright, Palatina. Let's continue along here with our buildings. Get the clinic, I think. Anyway, I think we're probably far enough along in this episode, though. And again, we are playing this partly because we can't really run anything else right now. So, you know, I like this game. I'm going to continue playing it regardless. I enjoy playing it. But yeah, I do apologize that I can't put out sort of the normal content that I necessarily would. Hopefully my computer will be back on the mend pretty soon here, but yeah, I hope you found this episode enjoyable. We'll be probably being able to beat this. I usually beat the Apollo AI in this game these days, but as always, I hope to see you all next time. If I can figure out how to turn this off here, it's part of the problem with my... There we go.